So, it's the morning. First, let me tell you this quick story about why my mother refuses to listen to my dreams to this day. Okay, I'm not going to tell you that story, but I will tell you, I'll just say that my mother hasn't listened to my dreams, and I'm not offended by it. This is not a poor parenting issue. This is, you'll understand why, as I do now. I said all that to say, needless to say, and yet I said all that, there was a bunch of nothing to get to this, is that all my dreams used to come true. Like scene for scene I'm talking about. Step for step. Except anything that wasn't in the human realm possible. But because of my life experience as whatever kind of human I am, I knew that those parts were representative of something else. The parts that were ridiculous or something, I don't know, the pink elephant swimming in the middle of the ocean where the dog park is or some during the wedding. I don't know, just shit that don't make sense. I knew that wasn't it, but things surrounding but the regular things surrounding the dream, including a few unlikely things or unrelated things. But bottom line, the dreams would come true, scene for scene. So after a few of those things materialized, my mother decided that she didn't want to hear any more of my dreams because that shit was happening. And when I stopped sharing my dreams altogether was one day I was at church. I was always at church. But it wasn't my dad's church. My dad didn't preach at his own church until I was in junior high. So he wasn't a preacher yet. But anyway, I was at church, and it was before some youth group, or I don't know if it was Sunday school or Vacation Bible School. I don't know what it was. But it might have been a youth something that was going on. But we were in church, and I was in the office, and the preacher was in his office. And at the time, our preacher was, incidentally, our preacher for my whole life had, in recent years, been replaced by someone who was a former NFL player. Can you believe that? I didn't realize how big that was when I was young, though. But I knew he was younger than usual. A younger preacher than you would usually see. Incidentally, that's when my father's disdain for that particular church, it was an imbalance over doctrine. You know how church people are, honey. Self-excluded this time. Let me hurry up and tell this, because I want to tell y'all this dream so I can move on and not think about it anymore. And to live my life in such a way that it is something that I never have to think about again. Unless I have to deal with it at some point. But these are just thought processes when you get older. It just gets realer as you get older. So needless to say, I had the worst dream of my life this morning. Because I slept through the night fine. And like he always does, Mr. hugged and kissed me and told me he loved me before he left. We had our moment that we have every time he leaves and every time he comes home. We had our moment. It's a regular moment. So this particular time, normally I would get up and exercise, but last night we did a heavy bout of cardio and I did not feel like it. I fought through it, but we did it and then did yoga after that. So whenever we skip a morning workout, we always do cardio on top of yoga that night. Like we'll do the cardio that we didn't do that morning and then do yoga on top of that, like a full series. So I dreamed that we were either at a show, I was in a show, or a play. Might have been a play. It can't have been a play. We had to be shooting something. But anyway, it was a performance. We were shooting a low budget film. But there were named people in the film. And in fact, Teresa was there. And Adele was supposed to be there, but she was in a different capacity, I think. So we didn't even really see each other in the backstage or anything. But okay, we were all there. Anyway, and it ain't even about that. That's just to show you how we wound up going to the store afterwards. So afterwards, we went to the store. Just Mr. and I. We went to go pick something up. I don't know, but it was afterwards. We went to the store. And usually, and sometimes I'll take my keys when I'm with him and I know we're going to be right back. We're just going in the store and coming right back out. I'll leave my keys hidden in the car because, you know, we got his keys and we're just going in the store right quick, right? So we went into the store and we got whatever we were going to get. And we were at the register. And there was this kind of racist looking white guy in front of us, right? But, you know, Mr.'s a good guy to everybody. His thing is, even though he knows someone is racist, he ain't gonna put up with it. But at the same time, he aspires to give that racist a good experience with a black person so that they don't have to always make assumption about every brown person they see. So this guy was in front of us, right? And as we were walking up behind him to the register, there was another guy. And his privilege allowed him to feel entitled to step in front of us in the line. And Mr. looked at him, he said, and he just was like, he's like, come on, man, you saw us next, you know, like, really? And so the guy said something, and I kind of looked back, and I was just kind of shaking my head. And then my next intent was to look at the racist guy, like, see how y'all do? And so the guy said something to Mr. And then I guess he opened his jacket, I have to assume. And the reason why I have to assume is because then the racist guy in front of me was like, he's like, well, we all got that. And he opened his jacket, and he had a gun in his hip, right? So the racist guy was looking at the guy that was finna cut in front of us like, you ain't talking about nothing. We all got one of them, you know, to the other white guy. And so I looked at him and I kind of started laughing because, you know, him of all people, I walked up on him just looking at him like, this old racist, this hucklebuck here probably got a bunch of black notches on his belt, right? He took out you know, probably had a bunch of lynch parties or whatever. But no, he was looking at the other guy like, come on, you ain't, you know, it ain't that serious and you ain't got to be all like that. We all strapped, you know what I'm saying? So I guess... So the dude that wanted to cut, that felt offended that Mr. spoke up, he apparently pulled a gun. And then I kind of stepped up a little bit closer to, I stepped up a little closer to the guy, the guy I thought was racist. And he put his arm around me. For support. So, I just didn't know what was about to happen behind a fucking cash register line. So, excuse my emotions, this is not even real. But I gave you a precursor to why it's so emotional if I have a bad dream for me. I mean, now in all fairness, my dreams haven't been coming true the way they used to when I was a young person. But having that experience so often as a young person, of course your life experience follows you. So whenever I have a dream like that, it's still terrifying because they used to come true all the time. And even when I have certain dreams now, they symbolize other stuff. Not literal things, but they symbolize other stuff. So anyway, so he starts chasing Mr. around the fucking store. I never hear a gun go off, but I hear people running and I hear stuff happening, and I run out of the store because we discussed these things before. And he specifically told me to don't be trying to be the hero. Don't come. Because dudes know I'm a rider. I'm a rider. I had a couple of experiences. I'll tell you about those in a minute. Because maybe that'll help shake me out of this. Let me medicate. Well, let me finish telling you this part first. Let me finish telling you certain parts before I meditate. Before I meditate, let me tell you these other parts and try to go quickly. So I ran outside with the rest of the people. outside of the store. And as I'm getting to the car, going towards the car, I remember I left the keys in the car this time because I was with him just going to the store real quick. So I was going to go back toward the store. But, you know, it's a hard place to be in. Do I have someone break in the car? No, because I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere without my husband. You made that up. So you a lie and a half. You a lie and 9/10. So that's when I started realizing he might have actually shot him or something. And then people start coming out, and then people were telling me, I'll insert it. I don't know how widows do it. I'm not even a widow. And the concept of it breaks me down. Because y'all know how unique I am. And you also therefore know how rare the type of man who could attract me is. So, so my next step was to go to, I didn't know what to do. I needed to call his family, which is other levels. Which is a whole nother set of levels. And y'all gotta keep in mind, we don't have children. So, and I was like, I don't even know who to go to. His family will be mad enough at me for not calling them first that my grief would take a back seat to their feelings. Because that's the reality of it. And I know if they heard me tell this story, they will be more concerned about how it makes them look than how the actual procession of those happenings would affect the person directly traumatized by the events. It wouldn't even, but, that's what it is. So, then I had that whole emotional burden of them feeling some kind of way, which would only drive me further away. And again, we don't have children, so I'm a strong personality. But I'm not strong at the concept of being in this world right here without him. And I'm only going to spend this moment on this, because once I'm done with this moment, I'm done. I'm going to, continue to appreciate the time that we have together on this earth. I just can't fathom any other human that I want to spend it with. There are a couple of people, but, they have a busy life. They don't have time to be babysitting me. What would I do? Would I just dive into, just moving back to take care of my parents? And would that just be the rest of my life? I don't know. No more creative ventures? I don't know. Anyway, I spent too much time on this. As I said, I wouldn't. So, I went back to wherever our reading spot. We were going to do a dry run rehearsal where we do our readings and dry run rehearsals. So I went there, and I had to tell Teresa, of course. So she was like, she felt bad. She was very compassionate, very supportive, let me know if you need anything type thing. But y'all know my family. They are on stage sharing their love with the world, as they should be. And I'm not trying to this day, whenever I talk to my sister, I don't tell her all the traumatic stuff that's going on in my life. Because she's out there making people laugh and giving people joy. If something happens and she finds out about it, she'll get mad at me for not telling her. Or she says, that don't bother her, She can still do what she does. She's a professional, and she is a professional. I've seen her do it. I've seen her lose so many people close to her. I've seen her almost lose her husband, who I also love. We all do. You know, but he made it through. But after Teresa had said, let me know if you need anything, and then she went on to rehearsal, because life does go on. Life does go on. And I don't expect it not to. And I want it to. When I'm gone, you know, party time, y'all. Let y'all hair down. But there are just some people that this world really needs. And not all of them are famous. In fact, most of them are not. And my husband is one of those people. And that's why I get so furious when they take him for granted at his job. And I just would like for us to have enough money to retire him. We're not trying to live large. We just want to be comfortable and make other people's lives better morally. And if we wish to happen to be wealthy or financially comfortable at some point, we would also love to bless worthy people with some financial support as well. But you got to get your own finances intact first, right? Right. But yeah, I just, at the end of the dream, you know, I had somebody break into the car so I could drive. But at the end of the dream, I went and got into the car. And I realized I was going to have to go home and deal with this. And he wants me to be, always talks about me being prepared. And he feels like he's failing if I'm not prepared if something happens to him, because he wants me to be able to take care of myself. Because he knows I'll fuck around and wind up homeless in the process of not reaching out to anybody and asking for help. And I probably would. So he always tells me, he says, first thing I want you to do is call Dave Ramsey. And Dave is racist, but like I said, he has the best financial advice. And I know how often I know how often fresh widows call Dave Ramsey in a last ditch effort to survive the loss. So many different variations of loss. Oh my God. And I'm sure his sister is experiencing a couple of these right now. Because I told you guys she lost her husband that she had been with only 4 years. And there was another woman in the family, an older woman, who was like behind her back saying, you know, well, she been with him 4 years. I was with my husband for, you know, however many decades they were together. You know, so it was basically a pissing contest about who should be grieving more according to how much longer you were able to love your husband. What? Bitch, what? If that's the case, she could argue that our love was fresher and newer. You know, we haven't had time to argue real bad and hate each other. So that makes my loss bigger than yours. Now what? You know? He always used to get on your nerve with something or another, annoy you. But this has only been a few years in the making. I'm still gawking over him, maybe. And this happens. Both are right. The bottom line is you lost someone you love. What the fuck? This is the kind of shit humans do. This is why I don't fuck with humans. This is why I don't fuck with humans. And I don't even know how I would deal with people offering me condolences. People that are disingenuous. Because, you know, even while everything is cool and smooth and right and we're together, I don't like to hear certain shit from certain people I know are just rattling it off to be rattling it off. Or like sometimes on my Instagram page, I'll post something and I know what companies do. They search a I know what sociopaths do. They do the same thing companies do, where they just search a hashtag and they put the same comment. They trump everybody's comments with the same boilerplate shit. Awesome, great video. Awesome, great video. You know, like every time there's a tragedy and Trump just post the same thing. Our condolences go out to the lives lost at such and such. Emergencies crews are on the site. It's a boilerplate statement that he puts out every time a tragedy happens, and he just replaces the city or state that it happened in, because it's the same shit. So thoughtlessly, he just boilerplates the same shit to everybody. That's how I feel when people sometimes, and it's not personal. I know that's what humans have become. That's what humans are. Matter of fact, when Mr. and I first started talking as friends, as platonic friends, he said to me, "How you doing?" And so, I'm sorry. This is not a sad story. That dream is fucking with me. I'm just crying on camera. That's what YouTubers do, don't they? They bawl on camera. Ooh, I should make this clickbait too. Bawling on camera for your entertainment purposes. Oh, I told y'all to dream. I can meditate now. I love that man so much. I just hope I go first. I mean, not anytime soon, mind you. I'm glad I got another chance from the last time I almost got taken out. Oh, it's almost 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago. Well, 8 years ago. It's still not. 2 years is significant. So 8 years ago that I was taken out, and y'all know who the hero was. Who was there in the ER brushing my hair and taking care of, putting earbuds in my ear to bring me back. The nurses told me about all the stuff he did there. And he still took his ass to work to distract himself emotionally while he was taking care of me. A lot of y'all don't know about that situation, but anyway, I was still on my walk. When I started making videos, I was still on my walker. I still wasn't able to walk unassisted because it took me 2 years, and thank goddess. Anyway, I'm finished telling y'all about this story about. Okay, so he said, "How are you doing?" And, you know, the conversation kept going, we kept talking. And it's because I don't like disingenuous, I don't like dishonesty, I don't like it. I mean, I can even understand better than I can deal if somebody is lying to make themselves look good in an actual scenario, not just randomly make yourself look better than you are. Because why? Why not pronounce your qualities that you have? You know, you don't have to add some extra shit like, y'all, you act like the regular stuff wasn't great. Let yourself be great. Let your own self be great. Let your damn self be great. Okay? If you gotta add some shit, if you gotta fabricate shit, then you disrespecting your already greatness, aren't you? The God in you, that's what I'm here for. See, even now at this age, I'm learning my purpose. And I'm here to inspire a very few people who have the capacity to inspire millions of other people. I'm not here for the masses. I can't relate to y'all. I do not trust y'all. You cannot be trusted, but a lot of people do. And y'all act like it's so hard to judge character. First of all, you don't want to judge because you want to escape for your own shit, an excuse for your own shit, so you can then say, don't judge me. I'm still a work in progress. God's still working on me. God's still working on all of us. But we ain't around here doing dumb, conniving, evil, psychopathic, criminal shit. Oh, I went presidential. But you know, we ain't fucking over motherfuckers to do it. I mean, and sometimes it's become so commonplace that you figure it's a natural thing to fuck over people for your own benefit instead of just striving to get it honestly, so to speak. They need to change the assumption of she got it honestly, that phrase. They need to change the assumption that means she got it from her mama. Because some of y'all's mama ain't honest. Because some of you are a mama, a dishonest mama, and or baby mama. I always thought that was funny how they made us comfortable just looking at somebody and saying that you think is cute and saying, that's my baby daddy. Really, bitch? That's your baby daddy? He don't even care enough about you to marry you, to want to marry you? And when you say that's my baby daddy, you are basically saying, I know he would just want to fuck me, but I'm dumb enough to get pregnant by him, somebody who just want to fuck me, because he's cute or popular or sexy, whatever your idea of sexy is, because I got some dumbass ideas of what's sexy too. Visual preference is one thing, ain't nothing wrong with that. A preference for a sexual capacity is cool. I encourage it. But these deal breaker ass shit y'all got about somebody's height, how tall they gotta be, and how much money they gotta make. I have a relative who had that idea. She wasn't gonna marry nobody unless they bought her a $300,000 house. Don't make me tell you how that worked out for her. Let's just say the guy she ended up with hit the lottery. I'll leave it at that. Okay. See? Y'all, you know what? In this video, you actually got to visually witness my meditation work. That's right. That's right. So you mean to tell me... So basically... Nope. I'm not going to make this a farm co-bashing video. But I wanted to. My grown folks know that I wanted to. I was about to make this a farm co-bashing video. Because y'all would rather I take opioids. Y'all would rather put me on some shit that's going to attack every vital organ I got that keeps me living and enjoying a few more years with Mr. than to have to, one of us have to be a widow or widower. You want me on opioid. Man, the Trump American pharmaceutical industries, boy. Woo, they in it together. And they don't give a fuck. They throwing their mamas under the bus. They throwing their mamas and their kids under the bus. So they sure don't give no fucks about us. And while I'm on that, I saw a video the other day. Let me go ahead and finish this, because I'm going to have to chop this up and add it to the part about where I was talking about Mr. When we were first talking. And so anyway, he was like, how you doing? And I just kept the banter going. We just kept talking. And so he asked me again, you know, after a few more sentences, he's like, well, how you doing? And so, you know, I was like, fine, and blah, 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 blah. And actually, I wasn't like fine. I was great. I had been trained. I had been brainwashed. It's still in there, back there somewhere. But I had been brainwashed professionally that whenever someone asks you how you're doing, you respond great. Don't say fine. Don't say good. If you say fine. So I guess here's a little professionally inspirational professional tidbit. Anyway, so when someone asks you how you're doing, because motherfuckers don't mean it anyway. And that was the whole moral of my story. I still haven't told you about Mr. in the conversation. But this is actually good advice. And I'm not mad at this brainwash that I got as a young professional. And so when somebody asks you, in fact, I have a lot of that for professionals. That might be a separate video. That'll be a separate video. Because I'm an intelligent person across the board. I'm a jack of all trades and master of every last one of those motherfuckers. Let myself be great right now. Let myself be great. I should get cute and send him pictures of me all day. Even if it's side eyes and shit. See, this is my last, that was this morning. After I got through crying about my damn dream. But this was last night. Well, this was yesterday. I'm gonna start from yesterday. That's me telling him to drink water. And that's some Trump American police shit. And that's my response to it. Because we goofy. Our texts are so funny. Our texts alone could make their own sitcom. I promise you. I promise you. I promise promise you, I should do shit like that. Sometimes I'll go and watch something that makes me laugh. But if I'm feeling a little down, I should go back through all of our texts. Guaranteed comedy. Guaranteed. Speaking of comedy, I should text my sister more. When we start talking on the phone all the time, I stopped texting her as much. We stopped texting each other as much. And I miss texting her. I feel her love anyway. But I miss texting her. You know what? I'm so mad at social media because I got notifications for her on a certain site, and I think she went live. Oh, she could have just posted a short video though. Okay, I could tell the difference between a live, but it looked like it might have been live. And I'll be wanting to catch her live. So, and when I can. So anyway, I forgot what I was talking about, and I don't want to rewind the video to see. But back to Mr. saying, how you doing? So he's like, how you doing? Brainwashed. So I have been brainwashed to professionally, and therefore all the time, because when you're off the clock, you're still on the clock by how you present yourself. So whenever someone asks you how you're doing, you never say fine or good or all right, because all right and fine, that speaks for themselves. And even when you say good, your mouth end up like this, good, and that's dragging ass, right? I know this sounds ridiculous. I know it's a bunch of tiny little things that sound ridiculous, but they make all the difference, girl. And yeah, I had already said great to him several times, and so just for variation, when he kept asking me throughout the conversation on how you doing. So around the fourth time, he was more assertive. He was like, he said, no, I asked how you were doing, These are happy tears this time. Because he's still that guy. And I don't know why y'all don't pick people that just are who they are and it matches with who you are. Because you have that choice. I don't know how y'all claim to want something, but all you have to do is be something that attracts whatever that is you're claiming to want. And that only sounds harder than it is if in doing so you won't be genuinely you. If you're pretending to be the kind of person that attracts them, because then the real you is going to come out. And if you're not interested, if the real you is going to attract something that's self-destructive, then work on you. But don't do it because somebody else thinks you should. Do it because you want to, and you want that for yourself at the end of the day. Never mind. I'm being too confusing and too preachy and a combination of both, and it's just going to be wasted on the airwaves. Anyway, he said, and he meant it. I could tell that he meant it. He said, no, he said, I really want to know how you're doing. How was your day? And good or bad. He wanted to genuinely know how I was doing. Man, if you can get that in a person, then shout out to you, because you're a good human being to have attracted it. Give yourself credit. You're a good human being to have attracted that. And then recognize it when it showed up and knew that they were worthy. That relationship is worthy of nurturing. Okay. So he said, how are you doing? And he meant it. He made me go back into the conversation and address how I was sincerely doing. And I'm so accustomed of not putting the weight of what I'm going, the roller coaster I'm riding at any given time, that I just don't vent like that. I don't share. I don't put it on other people because I don't want them to go to work with it. Don't you go to work with don't carry my backpack to your job. This shit weigh a lot. And I know you strong, but you shouldn't have to carry no heavier burden than you have been assigned on your own. But the key is to deal with people who feel like, no, bitch, we're sharing this because we love each other and we're in this together. So if it's yours, it's mine. And if I'm strong, but that's a little heavy, then I better get in shape because we in it together. And that's how I feel about the people I love. That's how I feel about the people I love. And what moves me to tears is that that's how they feel about me. That's how they feel about me. And the concept of losing someone you love like that. It's heavy. Okay, I'm not going back to that, okay?